feel low, you can still go. Even when you feel slow, you can still go. Even when there's no hope, you can still go. I never answer to no, man, I still go. Go, 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 go.
Brian Giles with Brian Giles MTG. And hoo-ha, we're back with more Edge of Eternity spoilers. Starting our list off today, we got Consult the Star Charts. A blue and 1 for instant it reads. It has a kicker of blue and 1. Look at the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of lands you control. Put one of those cards into your hand. If the spell was kicked, put 2 of those cards in your hand instead. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. Okay. Card searching, doing blue things. Next up we have Evoli Galeblade. Blue mana for a 1/1 Jellyfish Warrior with Flash. Pay 2 and sacrifice this creature to draw a card. Okay. Some card draw stuff. We got Hole Carver. A black mana for a 1/1 artifact creature robot assassin with Death Touch. Hey, not bad. Next up we have Cosmogrand Zenith. So white and 2 for humans, a 2/4 human soldier. So whenever you cast your second spell each turn, choose 1. Create 2 1/1 white human soldier creature tokens, or put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control. Excuse me? Did they just make Elspeth and put it on a body? Because it sounds just like an Elspeth thing. So, hoo-ha. That's going to be super useful. Next up we have Mouth of the Storm. Beefy blue and 6 for a 6/6 elemental with flying and ward 2. When it enters, creatures your opponent control get -3/-0 until your next turn. Interesting. So next up is Umbral Caller Zealot. Black and 1 for a 3/2 human cleric. You can sacrifice another creature and artifact to surveil 1. Next up, we have a pair of the new Mythic Land cycles. This is Adagia Windswept Bastion. It's a land planet that enters tapped. Tap it to add a white mana. And when it has station, so you can station it up to 12. And then you can pay a white and 3 and tap it. Create a token that's a copy of target artifact or enchantment you control, except it's legendary, activate only as a sorcery. So, hoo-ha. Then we have the other Mythic Land cycle in Cavron Memorial World. Land planet that enters tap to add a red mana, has a station mechanic. When you station it to 12 or more, you can pay 1 red and 1 and tap it and sacrifice a land to create a 2/2 colorless robot artifact creature token. And creatures you control get +1/+0 and gain haste till end of turn. Okay. Doing stuff. Next up is another crazy card in uncommon level, mind you. So this is Broodguard Elite. 2 green and X for a 0/0 insect knight that enters with X +1/+1 counters on it. When this creature leaves the battlefield, put its counters on a target creature you control. And you can warp it in for a single green mana and X. So, yeah. This is going to be interesting. So we have Debris Field Crusher. Oh, red and 4 for a 1/5 artifact spacecraft. When it enters, it deals 3 damage to any target. Ew. You can station it up to 8 or more. It becomes the 1/5 when it has flying. And you can pay a red and 1 to give it +2/+0 till end of turn. So it's got a pumpable thing on it. Okay. I'll allow that. Got Cascading Cataracts. One of the lands off the bonus sheet. It's a land that's indestructible. You can tap it to add a colorless or pay 5 and tap it to add 5 mana in any combination of colors. Mana Fixer, Yahoo. We have Power Depot. So it's an artifact land that enters tapped. Tap to add a colorless. Tap to add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast artifact spells or activate abilities of artifacts. And you can it has modular 1. You can enters with a +1/+1 counter on it when it dies. Then put that counter on target artifact creature. So again, a lot of these utility lands on the bonus sheet are going to be featuring some artifact love. Like Inventor's Fair, a legendary land. Beginning of your upkeep, if you control 3 or more artifacts, you gain a life. Tap it to colorless or pay 4, tap it and sacrifice it to search your library for an artifact card, put it into your hand and shuffle, activates only if you control 3 or more artifacts. So, hoo-ha. This is the first, well, it's seen a couple of reprintings, it's been on the list, but it's the first full reprinting since Kaladesh. So I'm gonna see, interesting to see where that goes. We have Petrified Fields. The land, you gotta tap down a colorless. You sacrifice it to return a target land card from your graveyard to your hand. So, this works in some of your landfall things. Wouldn't be bad to have a couple of those laying around. We've got Scavenger Grounds. To land desert, you can tap it out of colorless or pay 2, tap and sacrifice the desert, exile all graveyards. Hoo-ha. We have Endless Sands, another desert land. You can tap to add a colorless, pay 2 and tap it, exile a creature you control, or pay 4 to tap and sacrifice this. Turn each creature card exiled with this land to the battlefield under its owner's control. Well, we've seen a lot of, exile things, especially with the warp thing, so you can just exile some stuff and do some stuff, and yeah, especially with the all the enters and leaves the battlefield triggers. Yeah. Definitely going to be interesting. Contested war zone. It's a land whenever a creature deals combat damage to you. A creature's controller gains control of this land. Tap it out of colorless, or pay 1. Tap it to attacking creatures get +1 +0 till end of turn. Next up, we have Nutrient Block. Single generic mana for an artifact food that's indestructible. Okay. And you can pay 2 and tap and sacrifice it to gain 3 life. When it's put into a graveyard from the battlefield, draw a card. Any food-based decks, that might be an interesting thing to have. Then we have Warmaker Gunship. So it's a red 2 for a 4/3 space or artifact spacecraft. When it enters, it deals damage equal to the number of artifacts you control to target a creature an opponent controls. Station up to 6+ to give it flying and make it into the 4/3 creature. Next up is another crazy green card in Baloth Prime. A green and 3 for a 10/10 beast, but it enters tapped with 6 stun counters on it. But you can sacrifice a land, create a tapped 4/4 green beast creature token, and untap this creature. So whenever you sacrifice a land, you get a 4/4 green creature. And you can pay 4 generic and sacrifice a land to gain 2 life. So it feeds itself, basically. You get a green creature, and you can pay a land to do that. So you can get those, and with stuff like some of the lands we've seen already, you can move counters around and stuff. So you can get those stun counters off faster. So hoo-ha. Now this is the start. These last 2 cards are the start of the, or at least this card is the start of the Jund Commander deck. So you can only find that one and it's exclusive to the Jund Commander deck. So it's going to be interesting, to find and whatnot. So we have Humidian Waste Waker, 2 black and 2 for a 4/4 insect cleric. When it attacks, and you and each and defending player each discard a card and sacrifice sacrifice a permanent. You draw a card for each land card put into a graveyard this way. And it encores for 2 black and 6. You can exile this card from your graveyard, and for each opponent create a token copy that attacks that opponent this turn or table. They gain haste and sacrifice them at the beginning of the next end step. So hoo-ha, you can make it come back and do stuff all over again. Next up is Humidian Hatchery. So it's a land. Tap to pay 1 life. And you can add a black mana and put a hatchling counter on the land. When this land is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, for each hatchling counter on it, create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. Ew. Nasty. Next up we have Evendo Brush Razor. Red and 2 for a 2/2 insect warrior. Whenever you sacrifice a non-token permanent, so the top card of your library. During your turn, as long as you sacrifice a non-token permanent this turn, you may play the cards exiled with this creature. And you can tap and sacrifice a land to add 2 red mana. Hey, he's not bad. All this insect love, I may have to break up my insect deck, my Swarm Weaver deck, just to put some of those cards in, to upgrade this deck, because this is fun. Next up, we have Exploration Broodship. Green mana for a spacecraft that can become 4/4 when you station it up to 8. But if you station it up to 3, you can play an additional land on each of your turns. When you station it up to 8 or more, has flying, becomes a 4/4 during each of your turns. You may put a permanent spell from your graveyard. Cast a permanent spell from your graveyard by sacrificing a land in addition to it paying its other cost. So if you can get something that'll bring your lands back from the graveyard, like a Crucible of Worlds or something like that, play lands from your graveyard, you're just gonna be having just constant value. Next up is another crazy green card in Horizon Explorer. This card is gonna go to the moon. Listen to what it does. So Horizon Explorer is a green and 2 for a 2/4 insect scout. Lands you control enter untapped. Hoo-ha! Whenever you attack a player, create a lander token. And we all remember lander tokens it's an artifact. You pay 2 and tap it and sacrifice it. So search your library for basic land card. Put it onto the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. Yeah. But because it's a lander token, your lands come in untapped. So when you crack your lander token, you have an untapped land. Yeah. Hoo-ha. We have Planetary Annihilation. So 2 red and 3 for a sorcerer that reads, each player chooses 6 lands they control and sacrifices the rest. Planetary Annihilation deals 6 damage to each creature. Ew. 5 mana for a board wipe and land wipe. And mind you, this isn't a commander deck. How to earn less friends and get people to hate you. Hoo-ha! Next up we have Scouring Swarm. A black, a green, and 1 for a 1/1 insect with flying. Whenever you sacrifice a land, create a tap token that's a copy of this creature if 7 or more land cards are in your graveyard. Otherwise, create a 1/1 black insect creature token with flying. Did we just create another scoot swarm? Oh God. Yeah, it's got a little bit more, on it than Scoot Swarm did in terms of, making copies of it and becomes untapped, but yeah, that's gonna be a menace. Except we have Festering Thicket, a Swamp Forest, which means it can be fetchable, tapped, and you can tap it at a green, black or green, or cycle it for 2 generic. Except we have Vernal Fen, tap it. You can tap it to add a black or green. There's tapped unless you control 2 or more basic lands. So, hoo-ha. Well, that's it for the cards for today. We're gonna say hoo-ha. We will see you on the next video.